Millions of people know the famous prayer called the Our Father, or the Lord's Prayer. Jesus used this prayer to teach his disciples how to pray. Jesus said, "You must pray, then, this way, Our Father in the heavens, let your name be sanctified. Let your kingdom come. Let your will take place, as in heaven, also on earth." Why did Jesus teach us to pray for those three things? We have learned that God's name is Jehovah. And we have discussed what God's will is for humans and for the earth. But what did Jesus mean when he said, "Let your kingdom come"? We will learn what God's kingdom is, what it will do, and how it will make God's name holy. A kingdom is a type of government. A government includes a ruler, a seat of government, the territory that is ruled over, laws and citizens. Jehovah set up a heavenly government and chose Jesus to be its king. The Bible calls this government God's kingdom. Jesus is the king of those who rule as kings and Lord of those who rule as lords. Jesus is able to do more good than any human ruler ever could, and he is more powerful than all human rulers put together. 40 days after his resurrection, Jesus returned to heaven. Eventually, Jehovah appointed him as king of the kingdom. God's government will rule over the earth from heaven. That's why the Bible calls God's kingdom a heavenly kingdom. When on earth, Jesus showed through his miracles what God's kingdom would do. When Jesus calmed the storm, he showed that as king he will control earth's natural forces, solving environmental problems. By miraculously feeding thousands, he demonstrated that the kingdom will eliminate world hunger. When Jesus healed the sick, lame, deaf, and blind, he gave us a preview of the perfect health that all will enjoy under his rule. And by resurrecting people, he showed that through the kingdom he will reverse death itself. The Bible says that Jesus is greater than any human king because he is the one alone having immortality. All human rulers eventually die, but Jesus will never die. All the good that Jesus will do for us will last forever. Consider this Bible prophecy about Jesus: the Spirit of Jehovah will settle upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and of understanding, the Spirit of counsel and of mightiness, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Jehovah. And he will find delight in the fear of Jehovah. He will not judge by what appears to his eyes, nor reprove simply according to what his ears hear. He will judge the lowly with fairness, and with uprightness he will give reproof in behalf of the meek ones of the earth. Those words show that Jesus was to be a righteous and compassionate king over people on earth. God has selected some humans to rule with Jesus in the heavenly government. For example, the Apostle Paul told Timothy, "If we go on enduring, we will also rule together as kings." As we learned in the previous video, the Apostle John was given a vision where he saw Jesus as king in heaven with 144,000 other kings. Who are the 144,000? Let's read Revelation chapter 14 verse 1 and 4. It says, "Then I saw, and look, the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 who have his name and the name of his Father written on their foreheads." Verse 4, "These are the ones who did not defile themselves with women, in fact, they are virgins. These are the ones who keep following the Lamb no matter where he goes. These were bought from among mankind as first fruits to God and to the Lamb." John explains that they have Jesus' name and the name of his Father written on their foreheads. And he adds, "These are the ones who keep following the Lamb," that is, Jesus, no matter where he goes. These were bought from among mankind. The 144,000 are faithful Christians whom God has chosen to rule as kings over the earth with Jesus. When they die, they are resurrected to life in heaven. Since the time of the apostles, Jehovah has been choosing faithful Christians to be part of that group of 144,000 kings. Jehovah cares for us so much that he has arranged for humans to rule with Jesus. Jesus will be a good ruler because he understands us. He knows what it's like to be a human and to suffer. Paul said that Jesus feels for us, he can sympathize with our weaknesses, and he has been tested in all respects as we have. The 144,000 also know what it's like to be human. And they have struggled with imperfection and sickness. So we can be sure that Jesus and the 144,000 will understand not only how we feel but also the problems we have to deal with. When Jesus said that his disciples should pray for God's kingdom to come, he also said that they should pray for God's will to be done, as in heaven, also on earth. God is in heaven, and his will has always been done there by the faithful angels. However, we learned that a wicked angel stopped doing God's will and caused Adam and Eve to sin. Satan and the angelic spirit creatures who chose to follow him, called demons, were allowed to stay in heaven for a while. Hence, not all in heaven were then doing God's will. That was to change when God's kingdom would begin to rule. The newly enthroned king, Jesus Christ, was to wage war on Satan. Let's read Revelation chapter 12 verse 7 to 10. It says, "And war broke out in heaven, Michael and his angels battled with the dragon and its angels battled, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them any longer in heaven. So down the great dragon was hurled, the original serpent, the one called Devil and Satan, who is misleading the entire inhabited earth. He was hurled down to the earth, and his angels were hurled down with him. I heard a loud voice in heaven say, Now have come to pass the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Christ, because the accuser of our brothers has been hurled down, who accuses them day and night before our God." Verse 10 describes two very important events. God's kingdom begins to rule with Jesus Christ as king, and Satan is thrown out of heaven down to the earth. The Bible describes the joy of the faithful angels after Satan and his demons were thrown out of heaven. We read, "Be glad, you heavens and you who reside in them." There is now total peace and unity in heaven because everyone there is doing God's will. But life on earth is very different. Terrible things happen to people because the devil has come down and he has great anger, knowing that he has a short period of time. Satan is furious. He has been thrown out of heaven, and he knows he will be destroyed very soon. He does everything he can to cause trouble, pain, and suffering all over the earth. In Eden, God showed that his will is for this earth to be a paradise filled with an undying, righteous human race. Satan caused Adam and Eve to sin, and that affected the fulfillment of God's will for the earth but did not change it. Jehovah still purposes that the righteous will possess the earth, and they will live forever on it. And God's kingdom will accomplish that. The prophecy at Daniel 2 verse 44 says, "In the days of those kings the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. And this kingdom will not be passed on to any other people. It will crush and put an end to all these kingdoms, and it alone will stand forever." What does this prophecy teach us about God's kingdom? First, it tells us that God's kingdom would begin ruling in the days of those kings. This means that other governments would still exist on the earth when the kingdom started to rule. Second, it tells us that God's kingdom would last forever and never be replaced by another government. And third, there would be war between God's kingdom and the governments of this world. God's kingdom would win and become the only government ruling over the earth. Then humans will have the best government they could ever have. The Bible has much to say about that final war between God's kingdom and the governments of this world. For example, it teaches that as the end approaches, wicked spirits will spread lies to deceive the kings of the entire inhabited earth, to gather them together to the war of the great day of God the Almighty. The kings of the earth will be gathered together to the place that is called in Hebrew Armageddon. Because of what is said in those two verses, the final conflict between human governments and God's kingdom is called the War of Armageddon. Why do we need God's kingdom? There are at least 3 reasons. First, we are sinners, so we get sick and die. But the Bible says that under God's kingdom, we will live forever. In fact, John 3 verse 16 says, "God loved the world so much that he gave his only begotten Son, so that everyone exercising faith in him might not be destroyed but have everlasting life." A second reason why we need God's kingdom is that we are surrounded by wicked people. Many lie and cheat and are immoral. We can't do anything to remove them, but God will. Let's read Psalm 37 verse 10, it says, "Just a little while longer, and the wicked will be no more. You will look at where they were, and they will not be there." People who keep doing wicked things will be destroyed during Armageddon. A third reason why we need God's kingdom is that human governments have been weak, cruel, or corrupt. They are not interested in helping people to obey God. The Bible says that man has dominated man to his harm. After Armageddon, God's kingdom will make sure that God's will is done on earth. For example, it will remove Satan and his demons. Eventually, nobody will get sick or die. Because of the ransom, all faithful humans will be able to live forever in paradise. The kingdom will sanctify God's name. What does this mean? It means that when God's government rules the earth, all humans will honor Jehovah's name. When Jesus told his followers to pray, "Let your kingdom come," it was clear that the kingdom had not come at that time. Did it come when Jesus ascended to heaven? No, because both Peter and Paul said that after Jesus was resurrected, the prophecy at Psalm 110 verse 1 was fulfilled in him. Jehovah declared to my Lord, "Sit at my right hand until I place your enemies as a stool for your feet." There was a waiting period. Join us in the next video as we unravel the ancient prophecy of this waiting period and the kingdom's ultimate arrival. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, leave your comments below and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. God bless.